The Last Dance of Eros is currently my tallest painting that I've painted, and it currently has a length of 5'9" feet and a width of 3 feet, I believe. And if converted into centimeters, it is 180 cm and 100 cm. This painting is originally made by Giorgio Dante. I'm not sure if I pronounce his name right, but he is an Italian artist, and I've been following him this past few years as I really liked his artwork. This is actually the second time I've studied his masterpiece. The first masterpiece that I've studied was Lux Vitae. I'll be putting the link down below in the description box if you want to watch, or probably somewhere here in the video. And this time, it is about the Last Dance of Eros. I must admit that when I sketched this masterpiece, I really did had a hard time studying or sketching the face of this painting, and it was so hard because all of the face was just covered into a shadows, and I couldn't really find the specific details that can enhance the feature of his emotions or the feature of his face. And I really did believe that Giorgio Dante really did a very good job on doing this painting. Like the emotions of his face was so expressive, and at this point I decided to just trust the process and then trust the paints that I'm going to put on the canvas, as I know that it will eventually enhance or bring the sketch into life. Aside from that one, another challenge was that I only have 2 days to complete on this painting. This is not actually a commission, but I will be going back to my university, and I really had no time as I was only given 2 days to finish this one. And I really did work from afternoon until evening, or probably past midnight, and I'm so glad that I was eventually given the opportunity to finish this one before going back to my university. Now, painting the face, I first used darker colors before moving on to the lighter ones, as oil paints are very hard to mix or blend in the canvas directly because it can appear to be muddy. That is why it is best to have the darker spots being painted first, and then you can move on towards the lighter areas. And if it doesn't work or it's still not there, you can leave it as it is for a day, and then you can come back at another day so that the first layer will be a bit dry and you won't have a hard time applying the second layer of colors, and that it will not appear to be mixing with the first layer. In painting, I usually start off doing the eyes and then moving forward or moving on towards the other facial features, and then I move on towards the neck, the hair, and then towards the body. And at this point, I'm at his armpit, and I'm trying my best to focus on the lighting because it's a bit hard to differentiate or like put the lighting into place because sometimes I usually think that, okay, I think this side is a dark one, but it is actually much better in light. And I have a very limited colors in my palette, and so I still have to mix and blend every time I don't have that exact color. But I prefer that you do mixing very well and have those colors so that you can save time. But if not, then you can still mix in your palette while doing the painting. In this clip, as you can see, it is much more taller than me, and I am actually around 5'4" feet, and this painting is 5'9", so there are times that I have to use some extra height so that I can paint the arms correctly, as oil paints tend to shine, especially where there is light. So I have to use some extra help. And yeah, I was glad that I was able to paint the hands, knowing that it is taller than me. And as for the chest and his abs, I actually had no problem in doing this one because I was just looking at the reference photo over and over again, and the lighting of his body was actually much more easier than his face. So I actually did had a very fun time on this one, and the process of doing this one was much faster than I was doing the face. And this time around, I am now painting his leg, and actually the painting process is still the same as his body, like starting from the darker and then moving towards the lighter ones. And I decided I'll just probably skip that part in this video because it's still the same. However, after doing the legs, as you can see, I move forward towards the cloth on his body, and at this time around it is currently night or evening, and I decided to just finish like probably half of the cloth, and then I'll continue painting this one tomorrow. And at this time around I was in a hurry because I believe it was past midnight and I wanted to sleep at 2 a.m. And as you can see, the painting process is still the same. from black and then to the lighter color, which is color white. And after doing the cloth, on the second day I did continue still doing the cloth and then moving towards the background, which is the tree, and there's still a lot of leaves that I need to do, and I was so time pressured that I decided to use a bigger brush to save more time. However, there are indeed some instances that I have to use some smaller brushes so that I can paint the branches and even have more detailed leaves in this part. And yes, at this point I know that you're gonna say that the leaves are a bit messy. However, don't fear about that one because it is still the first layer, and after doing the first layer I actually rested like an hour or two so that there is still time to have those paints dry. But I prefer that you guys will leave it in another day and then paint the second layer of the leaves. But as you can see, I have no time left. I only have 2 days and this is the second day, so I decided to just challenge myself to rest for 1 to 2 hours and then paint again for the leaves. In case some of you are wondering when did I painted the detailed leaves, actually I did paint them, but it was off cam because I have no more storage on my camera. And yeah, this is the final product, and I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video and hoping that you learn a lot. So thank you so much.